is Tuesday, April the 22nd. I've been very busy for last week or so, and that has caused a lack of updates on the 100K portfolio, but I will get to that hopefully sometime this week. This is going to be another busy week, but I haven't forgotten about that, and it's going well, and I will get to it in an upcoming video. Anyway, today I wanted to talk about what's going on with Hertz. Something interesting here. Let me pull up the following. All right, so we'll take a look here at a basic description of the company, and I want to focus on why this is a potential squeeze, and it might already be happening. So note in this chart here that quite recently Hertz was under $4, and it's currently trading for more than double that, roughly $8.88. Is that correct? Yeah, $8.90, almost $9. Now, if we take a look at the shares that are short, roughly 45 million shares are short. The outstanding shares are 306 million, but their float is 119 million. So more than a third of the float is short, and relatively speaking, that is a lot of short shares that could possibly, and I'm not saying it's going to happen, and I'm not even going to say that it's currently happening, but this is a decent setup for a stock where the shorts could get squeezed. Gamma squeezes happen, and when it does happen, it can be very painful to the shorts. The stock is already hard to borrow. Let me double check. So it's a hard to borrow stock. So that's going to prevent more shorts from entering the market. However, they're, as I mentioned, relatively speaking, high percentage of the float is short, and based on recent volume, it would take about a little more than 6.5 days to cover all the shorts. So if this continues to rally, and I'm not saying it will, it might, something very interesting could happen there. That being said, I did not want to miss out on the fun. So a few days ago when I noticed, let me see how far back this was, a couple of days ago on the 17th, so 5 days ago, last Thursday, Hertz popped up on my morning list of active stocks, and I will show you what that is. Popped up on my list of active stocks, which is here. So it was up there in the pre-opening trade, the pre-market trade, pre-cash open. It was right behind NVIDIA as far as early activity, and I noticed that the price was popping up. It was already six something. I want to say roughly 630, 640, and at that point, it kept rallying. And I just made up my mind that I would rather lose money in Hertz than have it skyrocket and miss out on the whole thing. Now, I bring that up because when it was trading around 620, 630, 640 in the pre-market trade, pre-opening, I wanted to buy some of the stock, and I did not. And then I watched it continue to rally. So that's when I decided that's it, no more. And I started buying piecemeal. Let me go back. Let's see. So it's 6:23 a.m. last Thursday. 10 at $7.92, 10 at $7.86, 10 at $7.82, 10 at $7. Look at this range that it had in 10 minutes. In 9 minutes, went from basically $8 to $7. And note that this 10 that I bought at 7 was at 6:32. So at that point, cash opened up. I bought 10 more. I bought 10 more at 7:28 a few minutes later. And I do want to mention that I don't advise people add to losing trades. And I guess you can say technically if I'm buying something at 7.92 and then I'm buying it at 7.86 and then I'm buying it at 7, I'm adding to losing trades. Technically that would be true, but I'm establishing a base position here with these 10 lots. And and the base position continues to get established. So I buy 10 more at 728, I buy 10 more at 737, I buy 10 more at 720, so forth and so on. Subsequent prices, 726, 740. And then once I felt comfortable that I was establishing somewhat of a base, I bought 50 at 762, market rallied some more, I bought 50 at 805. Now, ideally, at prices of $10 or less, I'd like to have at least 500 shares, but I want to see it continue to rally, and right now it's trading at 878. So continuing with this mini base position of 200 shares of Hertz, up until this morning, it was basically sitting at under $8, and today it started to rally a bit more, so I can start to buy some more shares. But anyway, in the meantime, yesterday rather, I decided to create a synthetic long call, and I did that by purchasing puts at the $11 strike, and I paid roughly $330, no more than $332. So take a quick look at my average share price on the stock that I bought. I have an average share price of 762. Let me see if we can zoom in on that. I forget how to do this. Anyway, I have an average share price of 762 on 200 shares. So when I pay 330-ish, 331, let's just say 330 for this $11 or the put at the 11 strike, I am synthetically long a call at 11 for a credit. So what this does to the trade is, at this point, is a couple of things. We'll look at an analysis tab, and we'll analyze the risk on this. Note that now for my worst case scenario is that I'm going to have a small credit. And by the way, this the put at the 11 strike expires this Friday, the 25th of April. Can't lose money to the downside. Synthetically long the call because long the stock and I'm long the put. So that creates a synthetic call position. Synthetically long the call at $11, and this continues to go up. I have all this. I have this unlimited upside. So currently, the way this is structured, I have an asymmetric bet. My losses don't exist up until Friday, and on the upside, I'm unlimited. So I have an asymmetric bet right there at this point with stock continuing to rise. Right now, it's up 83 cents, and this is on 200 shares. So for every dollar that Hertz goes up, I will be making 200 beyond the 11 prices of 11 or more. And I don't want to suggest that it's going there, but as I mentioned, if a squeeze is in play and this becomes serious, a gamma squeeze is in play and this becomes serious, it could go up quite a bit, and I did not want to miss out on it. So that's why I started buying stock a few days ago, and I decided that I would rather lose money buying the stock than have Hertz skyrocket and miss out on the whole thing. So anyway, that's where I stand right now. 871. I'm going to be looking to buy more shares. I'd like to have at least 500. 1,000 would be nice. And then if a gamma squeeze does happen, then good things can happen to P&L for this position. All right, that's going to be it. Thanks for tuning in. I'll catch you guys later.